Holly.
Hello.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Eventprofs Together at Home. I'm very excited today to have fabulous Holly with me on the chat. I've never actually met Holly, but I follow her and her event agency on social media religiously. So I'm going to hand it over to Holly, who's going to tell you a little bit about who she is, what she does, where she is, and what the situation is where she is right now. So over to you, Holly.
So, hello everyone. I'm Holly Moore. I live in Manchester, or just outside Manchester in the UK. So we're currently on week 4 of lockdown, with just announced another 3 weeks. So I'm self-isolating on my own. All my family are other parts of the country in America, but I'm quite resilient anyway. So I'm not, I'm having my down days, but then everybody is, I think. In the event space, I founded a few businesses. We've got Make Events, which is the main business, which is corporate creative comms events agency. We started in 2012. We've got Events, which is like luxury private parties, weddings and events for those people who want to splash a bit of cash on an exciting event. We've got Make Events Venue Find, and within that we've got Make Events Studio, which is like content creation, which is obviously quite important at the moment. But we're just launching and working on at the moment the Anything is Possible brand. Ooh. Which is basically I can tell you more about that, but it's more of a lifestyle brand about anything is possible that we're going to channel through digital and live events.
Fantastic, exciting stuff. I can't wait to see that. So obviously at the moment we're all in home office or trying to work from home. Yeah. How does that look for you? Do you have like a dedicated space you've set up, or are you kind of moving around? What is your schedule like daily?
I tried. So it started off in the kitchen, where I always, if I'm working, or work at the dining room table or the bright spot, depending how I feel. And then I set up it's on my social actually. I've got like a gym stroke office in that I've had converted in the garage. And I was working from there, but then I quite like that being my gym and leaving it. I'm just kind of working in the kitchen, but I've got that many like Zooms and things like that it's probably better in there anyway, because it's better light and stuff like that. So I'm not as disciplined as everybody else, I don't think, with this working space. I'm a bit more like where I feel like it on the day.
So what are your 3 daily essentials?
So for while I'm working at home, so exercise is the first one. I would typically work out in the morning where I can, like depending on my schedule, but I'm not very good at training on my own. Even though I love the gym, I just don't like training on my own. So I'm doing like a PT session online with my PT in the morning. So that kind of at 7:30. I would normally do it earlier actually, but it's actually been quite nice. So I tend to like get up, have a coffee, do a few emails, go to the gym. So that's the one thing I definitely have to do. And I mean, this is like non-work related, really. Trying to get my 10,000 steps a day in, because my workout might just be like weights. So I'm trying to get out and have that walk. On a day like today, it's quite hard because I've got a really busy schedule right this evening, so that's a bit annoying. My other thing is my team meetings. So typically with the team, we used to have a Monday morning meeting, and then I'd have a heads of department meeting in the afternoon. But what we're doing at the moment is, and it's a bit indulgent for me really, we're having a 9:30 Zoom and a 4:30 Zoom.
Okay.
Which is a bit overkill, and a lot of it's talking about like what you've had for lunch and what you're exercising today. But just for my peace of mind at the moment, it's really nice to know what everybody's doing. And also, because I am on my own, it's nice to have that interaction, and it top and tails the day. So yeah, exercise, steps, and then this kind of structure to the day where I have to see the team at 9:30, I have to see them at 4:30.
That's fantastic. And in this time, in these few weeks that you've been in lockdown, have you come to some realizations about yourself at all?
Yes, a lot. Yeah, I think that, and I've just done a talk on this actually. I think prior to lockdown, I'd been away and I'd been to LA to see Oprah Winfrey. It was like a big goal. Yeah. And prior to that, I'd felt like I'd lost my purpose a bit, and I couldn't work out what it was, in that I was like, what am I doing it for? I don't know what I'm doing it for anymore. I was in the nitty gritty too much, not doing everything that I love. And, it'd be like, oh, there'll be a networking event going on, and I'm sat on my emails, and I just didn't know. And I went to LA, I guess, looking for some clarity, but still didn't necessarily have that clarity. And then when we got back and this all kicked off, literally, you have no choice to step into your leadership role, which I hadn't been in for a while. Yeah. And I think I've been managing, and that's not what I'm good at. I'm good at leadership. So if I take away all the negative and the horrible things that are happening outside of my four walls, for me, I've really stepped into my lane, and I feel like the team that I've got are just incredible. And the trust, we were saying this morning, the trust that we've all built up over the last 4 to 6 weeks, I mean, it will just never, that will never go wherever we are in the world. I think this bond that we've got.
Absolutely.
So and what it's allowed me to do, and again, I had a very frank discussion with the team this morning, is that, I've produced events for, God, however many years now. And actually, my passion now lies in growing the brands, having mentioned, the sub-brands that we've got. And I love client events, don't get me wrong, but I am now ready to step up, because I want the team to step up, and the team deliver without, I'll get messages on LinkedIn like, oh my God, Holly smashed it again. I'm like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't anything to do with me. It's all the girls, or the guys or whatever. So it's made me realise, I think I was scared of saying what I now really want, because I was worried that clients would think I don't care, or that the team would think I'm lazy or can't be bothered. That's like my own issue, my own self criticism. And I feel that in this situation, because you've got this pause, I don't want it to go back to how it was. So I need to start pursuing my dreams, which will make me happier, which will make business better, and it'll make the team happier, because they've built the trust to be able to go away and do what they want to do. And I've also realised, wittering on now, I've always had like a nice home in terms of like aesthetically, like, because I do events, I love making space look nice. But have I created a home? I probably haven't, because I've always put work first. So, oh no, I can't cook a meal, I'll just have Marks and Spencer's, because I could do my emails, or if I could delegate something, I'd delegate it. And actually, the simplest things that I've had to do for myself in the last month, like building a chair, sanding a bench, cooking a meal, I've got so much pleasure out of. And I don't want to go back to filling every little gap with work. I think I'd be more productive to contain that in a set period of time, and do some other stuff around it.
So achieve more of a work-life balance, or a work-home.
Yeah, and I know everyone says that, but I'm very like, have you ever seen that video my friend sent it me the other day, where you've got the jar with all the rocks, so you can fill the jar up with all the rocks, which is a big jar, then you can fill it up with the pebbles and the sand. That is me all over. If I can fill a gap with something to do, that is what I will do. Then I think that that those times that you feel are not that productive, because you stretch things out. So yeah, do you know what I do think, and I hope we all do this, I think we can't go through this experience and not change in some way. And I would be annoyed of myself if I let myself go back to my old ways. I always need somebody to be accountable to not do that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And I think we're all going to come out of this changed in some way. And I do think it will be for the better.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, I do. So, I mean, it might not be a business related better, but I think from a personal standpoint, it will be something good that would have changed internally for the better.
Yeah.
So what are you then doing? Obviously, you are a fitness buff, but what are you doing specifically for from a wellness perspective, both physically and mentally?
Yeah, so I think fitness speaks for itself, and and I've made no bones about it. So it is aesthetic, not just mentally, like I am vain. And then from the other point of view, so I've talked about it quite a lot. I used to have OCD. I've not had it for like 9 years, but I still see the psychologist that treated me at the Priory probably like every 3 to 6 months. If I'm going through something like life-changing, like I went through a divorce 2 years ago, so it was really important for me to navigate that with someone that understood my background. And touch wood, like any personal experiences I've had in the last 2 years, I haven't challenged my mental health at all. I'm actually really, really mentally strong. But it was important to me to be able to have that dialogue with him during lockdown. So we've had 2 sessions like this, and his advice to me was that he basically said, I'm sure this, and if everyone could understand this situation will challenge anybody's mental health, but it will particularly challenge people that have had mental health issues. And we're starting to see that in the UK at the moment in the news and stuff. And not only the people on lockdown, think of all the people on the front line that are witnessing what's, the deaths and the way that is happening. There's going to be a lot of post-traumatic stress. So he's basically given me his guidance on how he thinks I can maintain my mental health during this time. So that's been important. So yeah, the fitness. The other thing is So I'm very all or nothing. So I was like, not going to drink through the whole of lockdown. And then my sister said to me, like, why would you do that? Because you can have a nice meal plan or whatever. So I'm trying to just have a drink at the weekends.
Okay.
And so I've got my fridge stocked with like my non-alcoholic beers, just because it would be too easy just to have a drink. That's important. And then just like cooking and being healthy. So I haven't stocked up with like loads of chocolate and cake and all that, because I would just like binge eat it.
Yeah.
So trying to, and you probably know this, we go out, don't we, so much with work, out meals and things like that. And even when you're being healthy, it's probably not that healthy, because the salad's probably got like all this on it. So I'm kind of taking advantage of the fact that I can actually cook my own nice meals at the moment, which is nice. So yeah, food, probably not drinking enough water, but food, exercise, still seeing the psychologist, and yeah, like to try not to drink.
So basically trying to control the things that are within your control, because so much of what is happening right now is completely out of our control.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to still have some access to be able to control part of the areas of your life that you can, which is great, I think, you know.
Yeah. And one thing for me is like my massive thing, I think I said before, is guilt. Like I suffer with guilt terribly. And like my house is getting a real tip because I'm virtually as busy as I am normally.
Yeah.
And so yesterday I just said to the guys, do you know what, I'm going to take half a day off. And I felt like if I could just get everything straight and organised here, I'd be in a much better place, you know, for today. And I don't mind working the weekend at all. So it's things like that, you know. I'm trying to like fight my natural instinct, which is I should be working.
Yeah.
To go, well, actually, it's fine because I know I'm going to work on Sunday.
Yeah.
And actually, even if I wasn't, does that really matter? You know, like you say, just been a little bit easier on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all need to take a break. Absolutely. And not feel bad about it.
Terrible, isn't it, the way we are with to ourselves?
It is, but I think it's also an event. I think it's an Eventprof thing as well. If that we don't, just because of the nature of our work, the timelines are always so blurred. You
That's
can
so right, yeah.
in the morning, and then you're up at 6 to be there for registration, and everything is so blurred that I think as event professionals, it's always harder to find the lines.
You know what, you've got something there, because when you think about it, in another industry, if a client said to you, all right, yeah, could you work from 5 in the morning to like 2 in the morning, it just would be unheard of. Whereas we'd feel bad to say, oh, well, actually, I can only do 8 hours, and then somebody else will be on. Like, that's just not in our nature. So you're probably right there. We've got that nature to please and to do over and above, and it's just second nature.
So, you know, obviously now a lot of us have been watching a lot of content online. We are, you know, reading again, lots of, you know, from everyone I've been speaking to. Can you give me any recommendations of anything you've been reading or watching, or someone you've been following, been bringing you some positive vibes and some happiness and energy in this period?
Well, I mean, I said I was going to read. I've got a stack of books at the side of my bed that I've not read. I've watched a couple of, maybe a couple of hours worth of TV. Like I've literally watched nothing. I don't know what I've been doing actually. But my go-to, I guess, is at the moment is have you heard of Rachel Hollis? I don't know if she's got to you over. Yeah. So for those that don't know, I'm slightly obsessed with her. She was an event planner in LA. Then got into like blogging about lifestyle, and now is in the motivational space and just like motivational conferences, books, podcasts. And then her husband Dave Hollis does it with her, and she's got 2 books, Girl Stop Apologizing and Girl Wash Your Face, which are on audio or read it. They're brilliant. I would really recommend them at the moment. And then she does loads of coaching online and podcasts, and I really like her. Like I listened to her podcast yesterday. It was all about habits and you know, just talking about joy, and so I really like her. And then I'll always stick a bit of Oprah on YouTube, you know, like Oprah. Oh, I tell you what I have been watching, because I'm getting into cooking. I started watching a little bit of MasterChef. So, and I used to watch that again before I started the business. I used to watch MasterChef. I used to absolutely love it. So yeah, but I don't know where the time's going. Do you find your days go with?
It's like
well, though, right?
Absolutely. I thought it would be like, oh my God, how is this day gonna pass?
Oh, it's just like that.
How is it 6 already? You know, like it's ridiculous.
These people that I'm seeing online that are like, they're training twice a day and doing yoga and Pilates, and like, where the heck, what?
Once this entire lockdown is over and all the shops
Yeah.
are open again and all the restaurants and everything is open again, where is the first place that you want to go?
My mum and dad. So my mum and dad self-isolated maybe 4-6 weeks ago. So they live in the Cotswolds, which is like 2-3 hours down. So what they've said is that when lockdown is lifted, they want to stay in for a few more weeks because they're like mid to late 70s.
Yeah.
They'll be my first. So I said I'll go to them before I go to anything. And then I'm self-isolating. Then,
yeah,
and I'm sure most women get this, I am going to the beauticians.
Yeah.
Something done with these boots, my nails.
Yeah.
I mean, like everything. Because I mean, have you seen that thing on the internet that says when lockdown's over, it's going to be for all the men, it's going to be like a scene from Thriller when we all come out like looking how we should look. So mum and dad, beauty regime, and then just so I've got my best friends, seeing all of them, and to be honest, like the team at work is so close.
Yeah.
And we've really got to know each other's partners a lot better over like the lockdown because we've had these virtual parties. So just I'd love to get all like our clients, everybody back at the office, go to Barry's boot camp class, you know, just like all your normal stuff.
And once we can all get back on a plane again and travel somewhere, where do you want to go?
So my sister lives in Washington, so and she's recently moved out, so I want to go there first. And then I was looking at actually, so Rachel Hollis, who I mentioned before, she's doing a conference, she's doing 2 to the tail end of the year, either San Diego or Texas. So I want to go to one of them.
Fantastic.
Luckily, I packed in a few 3 holidays between November and January.
Yeah.
So I feel like I actually did have a good holiday. Yeah.
And last question, I can't believe it's come to an end, but yes, what advice do you have for all of us event profs that are, you know, in this situation together right now?
So I can only, and this will probably sound a bit left field really, but I think I had a wobble last weekend because I thought, as we were talking before we went live, you know, what is the face of the industry going to look like? Our businesses, depending on what space you work in, rely on X amount of people, shoulder to shoulder, in a confined space, essentially. So I think it's about, now listen, I always want to be in events and customer facing and, you know, whether they're educational events or whatever they are. But I think, you know, I did have that thought this weekend, what would I do if I didn't do events? What would I do? I've done events and hospitality like years. What would I do? And so I'm pretty, you know, I'm quite sure that this is the space that I want to be in, but there will be a lot of event professionals that maybe over the years have thought, is this right for me now? Is it what I want to do? So I'd use this opportunity to really think about, is it definitely what you want to do? Or do you want to pivot, as the new expression is, and do something totally different? Because it is good. I do, but like I said to you, I am a positive person, but the event is going to change. Yeah. And it certainly is going to take a while to get to where we want to be. It's just being sure that that's your path still, because if it's not, wow, what an amazing opportunity to change and, you know, do something.
Yeah, I completely agree. That is fantastic advice. And thank you so much, Holly, for your time and the inspiring chat. And thank you everyone for watching another episode of Eventprofs Together at Home. I'm Sabrina Myers from Hot Hospitality Exchange. Thank you again, Holly, and I'll see you all guys at the next one. Take care. Bye.